Welcome back, Bravehearts. So I did a one-a-day this morning, but I wanted to come on and do this because I've been promising this for a few days. And guess what it is? Spinal surgery. The last option. Hey, guess what? Did you hear? Wow, another scientific breakthrough. We can put rods in your back. Ooh, another scientific breakthrough. We can fuse your spine. Another scientific breakthrough. We can put mesh, okay, when you have an inguinal hernia, we can put mesh in you. Holy smokes, another breakthrough. We can give you a fake hip or a fake knee or a fake shoulder. Whoa, another breakthrough. We can give you a different heart. Let me tell you something. Do you actually believe that a scientific breakthrough is actually a breakthrough for humankind? What's human about it? I'm not telling you that if something happened that you should not get surgery if you're a 911 emergency, but how many people here actually know that at least 95% of all back surgery can be avoided? You heard what I said. Oh, wait a minute. No, I had a slip disc. What'd you do? Slip it into your underwear? Slip it into your socks? What did you do? Did it slip onto the floor? There's no such thing. Thank you very much. Isn't it great how we make up all this stuff? I had a slip disc. No, you didn't have a slip disc. What you had was here we go. So take a look right here. This is the chart. This is the large intestine. And I've said it only a million times because guess what? And I will say it a million times because repetition is the art of learning. So the large intestine is the holy grail of your immune system. The large intestine houses 85% of your immune system. Your large intestine has your bacteria, which everybody wants to kill. Where's that bacterial soap? Helen, did you come in here without using bacterial soap? I mean, Dorothy, did you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, then that's it. You're going to be punished. Okay, we're going to have to track and trace you. Okay, so understand something, everybody. You know, I can remember a time when I was a child that kids could eat dirt, that kids could play and eat their toys and lick things and build their immune system. Now we're all just going to die. Meanwhile, you may not know this, but guess what? You have 50 to 70 trillion cells and you've got 500 to 700 trillion bacteria. Go ahead and kill them. And understand, you shouldn't be killing bacteria, you should be loving them well. Every bad bacteria can turn into a good guy. Do you want to know why people become bad guys? Because they have bad beliefs. Okay? Do you want to know why people have become bad guys? Because the environment that they create for themselves and the people around them are creating a bad environment. So how do you get bad bacteria? Because you're creating it from what you think, what you drink, what you eat. That's it. No more than that. They don't turn on you. When good bacteria go into bad bacteria, they have to go into bad bacteria because they have to go and eat up bad things that are inside of you that you've been putting in your mind and in your mouth. And you may think I'm wrong, but I'm not. I don't mind being challenged. Okay? And this, I was going to say this Tuesday, but this Tuesday I'm going to have one of my master trainers go and do my Q&A because I have to fly out of town, okay? But I don't mind being challenged the next Tuesday because I will be here. And you can come on and challenge me on anything I say here today. So the large intestine is 5 to 7 feet long. Now I want you to take a look at this. We're talking spinal surgery here today, right? I hope you got that. So here is the large intestine. Now I want to show you something, okay? Now, take a look here, okay? Look at this. Here, right here, okay, this is called, what's this called? The pelvic girdle. A lot of people call this the pelvic bowl. Doesn't that look like a bowl? And guess what? If you are the majority, and I do mean if you're 95% of the population, you're pooping in your pelvis. Okay, you are. You're pooping in your pelvis. And the reality is that there's never been an organ, the large intestine has been disrespected more than any other organ in history. And it will continually be that way because your bacteria is 85% of your immune system, and you believe that medical care is health care, and their main go-to is antibiotics. We're like putting an atomic bomb in your large intestine and just blowing everything to smithereens, especially your good bacteria. Thank you very much for that. Okay? So now, what happens is, the cecum, which is the beginning of the large intestine, because you've got the small intestine in here, 22 feet. Then you've got your large intestine, and it goes right here, cecum, ascending colon, transverse, descending, sigmoid, and rectum. Almost killed them. Now, here's the deal. Take a look at this. You got your cecum here, ascending colon, transverse. Look where it goes, guys. Oh my gosh. Isn't that L3, L4, L5? So guess what? When this large intestine becomes what? A screen door in a submarine, because you took the antibiotics and you ate the animal products that were taking antibiotics, which means the antibiotics were in the products, and the antibiotics are in most drinking water, and the frequency is there if you haven't structured it. I know I'm moving a little quick here, but this is just a one a day because I have Braveheart Women coming on in 40 minutes, don't I? And I'll tell you something, you don't want to upset these Braveheart women, okay? All right, so now, if you take a look, cecum, ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid, rectum, anus. Now what happens here is, I already said this morning in my one a day, that if your chest or your breasts are not sticking out further than your core, then you're going on the floor. I've fallen and I can't get up. I'm sure you did, because guess what? You had a back attack, because your back is not meant to pick things up. Your back is not meant to get you down on the toilet, off the toilet. Your back is not made for making love. You need a core to make love to your partner. Guess what else? You can't pick up groceries, can't pick up your grandchildren without a core. No, because your back has to pick up for the slack. You're too slack up front, so we have a back attack in the back. And that's why things get looser here, get tighter here. Looser here, get tighter here. This is not rocket science. And that's why nobody will challenge me on this. And I mean nobody. And if somebody would like to, I'd love to see that. I'd like a surgeon to challenge me today. I would like anybody that's in the health field to come and challenge me, okay? I'm not going anywhere. I just want to show people that, guess what? 95% of all back problems, no, 98% of all back problems, 95% of all back surgeries, especially the low back, okay, never have to be performed. That's why we give a money-back guarantee that you're not going to surgery even if you're booked. And you don't have to believe in us, because why would you, right? The story hasn't been told long enough and strong enough that people have been programmed to believe it. So I get it. So now, that large intestine, oh, you took the antibiotics, did you? Well, guess what? When you take antibiotics, they vibrate below zero. What does that mean, Daryl? Well, everything has a vibration. Okay, does a donut have the same vibration as a raw salad? No, that has a higher vibration. A donut doesn't have any vibration because it's been what? Beat it and treat it. And you don't want to eat it. And a donut has zero vibration. Didn't you see the hole in the center? That was a clue. Okay, so now, all right? So now everything is vibration. So when you take antibiotics, they vibrate below zero. So do you know what they do? They turn on the drill bit predators. Everybody has yeast in their large intestine. The yeast in the large intestine, are you ready for this? It heals you. It keeps you healthy. But when you went and took the antibiotics, what did you do? You turned these little suckers on, and you changed them. Not yeast anymore, but fungi. And most people would like to call it Candida albicans. And guess what it does? It's just like nature. So there's a tree and it's rotting. What comes along? But what? Termites, okay? And different things that drill holes right in the tree to return that tree back to the earth. So now you went and took the antibiotics and you turned on the death vibe. You just said, because it carries the death vibe with it. You didn't know that, did you? So what happens is now you turned the yeast into fungus, drill bit predators, and now they're drilling holes through your large intestine. And guess what we call that? Leaky gut. And there's not a person alive that doesn't have leaky gut, because they poison everything, don't they, today? It's time to knock them off. It's time to harvest the humans, right? So, go ahead. Every time you take antibiotics, you just caused hellfire. You just empowered those drill bit predators right through all kinds of holes. When that happens, now you're pooping in your bloodstream. You think I'm kidding? How did you get E. coli in your urine? Why do you have bladder infections all the time? Why are you infertile? Why do you have endometriosis? Why do you have cysts on your ovaries? Why is it, oh, you're going to love this one. So, in the last 5 years, prostate cancer has gone up 40%. They said at the rate that it's climbing, which I believe this, that by the year 2030, that prostate cancer will be 400% worse. And it'll be the main cancer that is taking down males. Well, why not? They're pooping in their pelvis too, okay? And what do you think? Where do you think the prostate sits? Well, the prostate sits right in front of the last 3 inches of the large intestine. And you couldn't get it all out, could you? And I couldn't get it all out because what's the most important thing to have a great bowel movement, okay? Can you charge this phone up for me? Because it's going to die, and then bring it back. So what's the most important thing in a bowel movement is water, structured water. And if you drank enough warm, structured water throughout the day, and people don't drink water, they think they do. What do you think? Oh, well, here's a clue, okay? God, I gotta get that out. Everybody's waiting in the car. Why do you think it's so dry? Well, it's not because you just have a sticky, glicky diet. It's not because you have a toxic diet. It is part of that, but the main thing is guess what? If you're going to cut these trees down and get the logs to the mill, you better put water in the river. Oh, don't do that though. Nobody drinks water. They pretend to. And now because you've been sucker punched and you think you got to go to OXXO or you got to go to the corner store and buy your water in a plastic jug that causes cancer, you don't want to spend the money. And guess that if it's not convenient to go to the store, you're not drinking water because it's poison coming out of the tap when you could have got a structure unit from us, and we'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee, and it'll never wear out, and you can put it under any tap around the world, never have to filter again. Yeah, I don't believe that, do you? But you'll believe in a lot of other things, and I'll tell you that for sure. So if your poop don't float, then either will you. And the reality is if your poop is floating and it's got bubbles on it, that's fermentation because you're rotting inside. And if it sinks right to the bottom, that's because it's dead. That's because you're on your way. Understand something. Healthy people do not smell under the armpits. Their bowel movements do not smell. Guess what else? Their groin doesn't smell. Okay? All right? Healthy people don't smell, but that's why everybody smells. That's why we buy perfumes, underarm deodorant, but we're going to get to the surgery thing. So now you're pooping in your pelvis, okay, because you're lacking tone, and your large intestine, which we talked about, which is over here, the most important organ in the human body, your large intestine, guess what? It has no tone. You see all these little lines here? These are hostras, but doesn't even have any energy to contract anymore. It lays in you like a dead snake. It does in most people, and if it's not laying in you like a dead snake, because of the poop, guess what? The poop infects, inflames, and then the large intestine, oh, a cramp, oh, a cramp, oh, a cramp. And all of that gas that you're feeling and all that farting and all that pain that you're feeling on your low back, and you think you got kidney problems, it's all the large intestine. You got gas trapped in there. And a gas bubble, when it comes up, it gets caught in the corner underneath your ribs. It's got to go across and come all the way out. So you can suffer a lot. Oh, come on, look at the people that, you know what, they look like they've got a beach ball. Don't you just want to go in and just prick it and watch them fly all over the room? But you better make sure it's not in your house because they're going to leave a hell of a mess. Okay? Seriously. Okay, so energy creates mess when it's gas, okay? So now these people have actually become their own manure pile because if you ever went to the farm and you dug into and you flipped the waste over, what are you going to see? Well, you're going to see worms, bad bacteria, fungi, all the things you wouldn't really want, but that's what's happening when you are decomposing, when you're rotting. Cars rust, people rot. Okay, now, so the reality is you are a manure pile. You got your own manure pile. That's why you're building up with gas. You ever see a hot air balloon? Well, guess what? You're a hot air balloon, and that's why in the morning when you go to roll over and you want to kiss your sweetie, she says, oh my God, please, Somebody pooped in your mouth. Go brush your teeth. And that's because hot air rises. Where do you think the plaque comes from? We're still getting to the surgery. But do you see what all has to go down? Because if we actually do have a bowel problem, where will the waste be? Where will it be concentrated? Well, where the organ is. And what else will happen? Well, guess what? When you are putrefying and you are getting infected in this area, well, come on, this is a sewer dump. What do you think is going to happen? Well, the discs, okay, are going to become dehydrated from the inflammation. So they're going to thin out. That's why you're getting shorter. You're not losing bone calcium. What do you think? Your head's getting, your skull is getting smaller? I mean, do we actually think what we say? Slip disc, I'm getting shorter because I'm losing bone calcium? What? You have no feet or you have a little head now? I'm not sure which one. It's actually the cartilage between here and it's getting dehydrated. So, and if you don't believe me, if you came for a Wolf non-surgical and we did 1 hour to an hour and a half on your spine, you would end up, if not the same height, almost the same height that you were when you were a teenager or when you were in your 20s. Wow, isn't that amazing? Yeah, we actually have a human extender. We can extend you. Now, here's the deal. So now, infection, inflammation. Now, what if the inflammation continues? Well, what about all the ligaments and all the tendons that are here around the spinous process? Well, if it's inflamed, the first part of that is inflame. That means did you ever put a burger on a barbecue? That juicy thing? Well, that's you when you're healthy. Then the juices get sucked out of it from the inflammation. So now, if I left the burger in there long enough and I was infected and inflamed, because that's what you get, when you're infected enough, you get inflammation. Guess what you're going to get? Scar tissue formation. So now the burger that was on the barbecue is now a piece of beef jerky, and now so are you. So now your discs have thinned out, but all the fibers are still here, and we can bring the life back. Now what you're going to do is you are actually tightening up. You're tightening up the ligaments and the tendons. You're actually shortening them up. Hey, if you don't believe me, I got something for you. Did your chiropractor tell you that he'd give you a really good deal if you signed up for 2 years and came back every week to have the joints pushed back into place? Well, anywhere you're talking about, if you're pushing the joints back into place, but you don't get Wolf non-surgical or get rid of the infection that creates the inflammation, you'll get the scar tissue formation. You're always going to have this shrinking. So if I had a rope and I tied a knot in the rope, is it longer or shorter? It's shorter. That's what inflammation does. It creates scar tissue formation. So now those ligaments, those tendons, these discs become more like beef jerky. So from your disc actually being, let's say, a 1/4 of an inch, now it's only 1/8 of an inch. So that's where you're losing your height. Those ligaments and tendons right here and those muscles that are all in this putrefactive dump, okay, are infecting and then inflaming, so now we're dehydrating. So that's why you have a stiff back. That's why you can't move around. That's why you've got sciatica. Okay, listen. We've only begun to have fun here, okay? So now what happens is this inflammation continues. What does the body do? Well, does anybody understand that we have osteoporosis because we have so much inflammation that if we didn't pull the calcium out of the bones to buffer down the inflammation that creates an acidic, low oxygen environment, we'd have cancer. So what do you want? Cancer or osteoporosis? Pick one, any one you want. So now, all because of the large intestine pooping in the pelvis, and because we got leaky gut from the drill bit predators, okay, we're infecting this whole area considerably. So now the inflammation is going to pull the calcium out of here, and guess what's going to happen? Now you're going to calcify a lot of the tissues in this area that feels like a block. Now most people think it's a kidney problem here. Oh, my kidneys hurt, my kidneys hurt. No, it's your large intestine. But if it goes on long enough and strong enough and you're pooping in your pelvis, then that means that the E. coli and all the other waste has to go through the kidneys, which it was never supposed to do. So you're kicking the crap out of your kidneys and you never did drink enough water or the right water. How am I doing so far? Look at your bowel movements. And if your bowel movements are computer printout. And today, I can see how well I took care of myself yesterday. And you could be looking at that computer printout every day, but you've been trained not to because you were trained that the large intestine, which is only 5 to 7 feet long, is just a garbage dump. That's right. And that's why you feel like one. If you were to do our daily cleansing tea every day, morning and night, and you did it for the rest of your life, you would stave off 85% minimum of all your symptoms and diseases. And I can say that because that was a study that was done by the Royal Society of Medicine, which are medical doctors, which you should believe them, not me, okay? And they said that. That was a study that they did. Go look it up. Okay, so now, here we go. So now we've got all this scar tissue, crystallization, okay, and displaced calcium in this area. So you know what? Your vertebrae could start to crumble. Now, I'm not here to do a sales pitch, and I really don't want to do that, okay? I need my phone. And here's the deal. If you really wanted to, we could show you how to reverse any osteoporosis condition in your body. We could show you how to return those tendons, those ligaments, those muscles back to beautiful, beautiful connective tissue. We could show you how to take those discs that have wafer thin and bring them back almost, because I won't say all the way, but almost to their norm. Next time, maybe make sure that it is charged. Thanks, boss. Yep. I got it. Okay. Now, what I'm about to do is now we've gotten to our story. And listen, I could be here all day and we could just not even leave this chart and just tell you about the whole domino effect of everybody in your family, why they are, what? Sick and tired. Okay? But we're not going to do that because I've only got, what, 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to get through this. And I'm going to do this show again. I was supposed to do this at noon, but it just seems like my life is a little dizzy. But we will do this again at least once a month. I will return to this. And then maybe I can find someone to challenge me. Maybe. Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay, we're ready. Okay. What is my...
Wait, before she starts, let me set this. This is a client, patient of mine. She lives in New York. She tells me I'm going to the top surgeon in New York to find out about my low back problem. I told her exactly what I told you, but a little bit more. She called for a consult, and we went through everything, and she went, whoa. She says, I've already have an appointment with this top surgeon in New York. I'm going to go. So then she goes to this top surgeon in New York, okay? And here's the story. Watch what happens. She taped this.
Condition today
have
is
severe stenosis between L4 and L5.
So we started this off. Did you just hear? What happened is he went to her, did an x-ray, and he says, you have severe stenosis in between L4 and L5. Okay, right here. Isn't that something? Right in the old highway. Right here, the old poop highway. Now, stenosis. Do you know what stenosis is? If he would have said, I'm going to explain what stenosis means, it means no circulation. If he would have said it and said, I want to help you out and I want to teach you, not preach to you. It's scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium. And then she'd go, but what do we do with it? And he'd say, I don't know. I'm a surgeon. You know, when you go to a butcher, you can't buy vegetables. You buy meat, right? And I didn't mean he was a butcher. I was just making an example. So I don't want anybody to come back on me on this one. Because there's times when we need surgery. So please, there's a place for everything, but not everything is in every place. Do you understand? Surgeons do surgery. So if you go to a surgeon and ask him if he can do surgery, he'll do it if he can. That's the deal. So she's got stenosis, and I hope they can hear this. Make sure that you're checking that they can hear this. Yarrick?
And the nerves, here's the white stripe is the nerves. You can see they run continuously there, and then right here it completely disappears.
Okay, so then he says the white stripes are the nerves. That's right. and then you can see where the stenosis is, the nerves completely disappear. Hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. This is why we'll do this another time. And when I do this another time, this is going to be a 3-hour class. Because this deserves 3 hours. Because I will prove that the whole foundation of this is deceptive.
And that's where the issue is. This should run continuously all the way up and down. You have no room for the nerves. Essentially, the nerves,
Okay, he says it should run all the way down. So we've got the nerves, you can see the white lines, and then there's no lines, and that's the scar tissue and calcification. So he's right about that. You should be able to see that. Okay, let's share this with you. Now he's going to tell you that the nerves are dead, and I'm going to tell you that I can prove that the nerves aren't dead in one treatment. One treatment with this lady, we proved it. We've done this with everyone. They're not dead. Okay? All right. So, is he a liar? No. Does he want to help her? Yes. Is he misinformed? I say he is, but who am I?
he's coming in and choking them. They're losing their blood supply, and they're dying.
So, he just said the nerves are being choked, they're losing their blood supply, and they're dying. They're not dying. The nerves don't die. They're not dying. I'm telling you that we have people that come to us for years. They either had, neuropathy, where the nerves were so painful in their lower part of their body and their legs, they wanted to cut their legs off. We can reverse that. You can reverse that. But we know how to do it with non-surgical cell sonic and juicing and all the other nutrients that we use. I don't want to get into that part. So now he's saying that that nerve is dying. Really? Don't believe you. I believe you could cut the nerve, but the nerve's not being cut. Okay? The nerve is being hidden by the calcification and the scar tissue and wrapped around it. And a lot of times when you go to lift up your arm or you go to move, because the scar tissue and the calcification has wrapped itself to protect that area and it's got in the way of that nerve, the nerve can't stretch and move around, so you always feel pain. Isn't it amazing how we can get rid of it without surgery? Okay, here we go.
Your foot goes numb, like you said, it's gone numb. That means that you've got a permanent now deficit in that foot.
So he just said that because, calm down, Daryl. He just said that because your foot is numb, you have a permanent deficit in that nerve and it will never come back. We're all good salesmen if we know our stuff, and he really knows his stuff, and he's not trying to lie to her. So I need everybody to get this. There are times that surgery saves lives, and this is not one of them. This is one of the times where this top surgeon in New York is misinformed. And I would love him to come on my show.
Because the length of time that it's been choked, that portion of the nerve is dead.
Okay, now he says, for the length of time that that nerve has been choked, it is dead. And I'm telling you again, it's not dead. And understand something right now. Tell a story long enough and strong enough and anybody's going to believe it. And then tell the people that this person is the authority of your spine. And then certify it by the government. And then by the medical system, which is only a system, which is a corporation that doesn't have a beating heart. Okay, you know what, if I say something wrong, you can come and challenge me on any show or call me up, extension 5. How are you going to go and call them up? How are you going to talk to them? See, let's try to keep things as human as possible.
The cells are dead, and
Cells are
that's...
dead. Cells are not dead. You can have dying cells, but that means there's rotting flesh in there. And I can prove to you that with the nutraceuticals that we have, okay, and the things that we get people to take, those dead cells are not dead, okay? Are they not getting their blood supply? That's correct. And if something doesn't get blood supply, and the blood supply is cut off long enough and strong enough where you lack 35% more of oxygen for 3 days, it becomes cancerous. So do you think we should do some non-surgical? Do you think we should get the flow going? Or do you think we should do some surgery? And surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. So she may not have any pain anymore, but she'll have the numbness in her foot forever and maybe coming all the way up her leg, and she'll be limping, but she won't have pain because things will be dead. She'll be a brick of scar tissue in her lower back. And it will lead to surgery again if she lives long enough, because surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. And if you've ever had surgery, you better come and see us, because I guarantee you that you are limited with your range of motion, with your energy, and you feel older because of it. And I'll tell you, one treatment will prove that we will give you back your vitality and youth in that area of your body. Let me tell you something. Getting old and feeling old is a scar tissue displaced calcium issue, nothing else. Your mind is active and the rest of you thinks you're getting old. Well, that's over. Isn't it over, Dorothy?
Right.
Come sit beside me.
It is.
Come sit beside me. This is Dorothy, and she was here to just ask me some questions. And Dorothy, is your life over or just beginning?
Just beginning, feeling better every day.
How did you feel when you came here before you took the Whole Life Coach course?
I felt like Lurch.
And how are you doing now?
Walking, swimming, wonderful.
And
Have
how-
a lot more vitality.
And how young are you?
I'll be 80 this month.
That's right. And did you feel like life could have been maybe over before you came?
Yeah, certainly did.
Yeah, this is not a sales
I
pitch.
lost a lot of ground.
Okay, this is a Braveheart woman here. Okay, and she's going to go home and then she's going to come back here and she's going to help start a show called Braveheart Regeneration.
Right.
Aren't you?
I am.
Oh, geez, don't threaten me. Okay, all right, let's listen to the rest of this, but don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, you make me look good. Okay.
Highly unlikely to come back.
Highly unlikely.
If you want to make sure that that doesn't happen to the rest of your symptoms and worse, that's why we recommend surgery to.
Okay, and listen to me. We don't want you to have any more symptoms or this to become worse, because you will become a cripple, so we need to do surgery now. Okay, he didn't say now, but he's going, if you don't want it.
Decompress the nerves,
Because-
allow them to have a normal blood supply.
We are going to compress the nerves to allow them to have a proper blood flow. How do you compress something and then have a normal blood flow? You don't. So what he's saying is, you will have no feeling there. Right? Okay.
Again by normal space, and in addition to that, because the arthritis has caused the bone to slip, we have.
Okay, hold on a second here. So he's giving all these big names, okay, and then he's saying, oh, you have that because of arthritis. Arthritis means inflammation of the joint. Why don't you look it up? Arth, joint, itis, inflammation of joint. Wow, that's pretty technical. How did I get inflamed? Well, you're pooping in your pelvis, and that's how she got inflamed. And you don't believe me? How did she get infected to get inflamed to have this all happen? Okay, so here we go.
Put in screws to bring the bones back into.
We're going to put in screws to bring the bone back. Thanks a lot. I think they just put the screws to her. Okay.
Into place, and we have to put a little spacer that sits in between there to allow the bones to fuse together.
So then we're going to put a spacer in, okay, piece of plastic, so that we can fuse the bones together. So just know that with every vertebrae that's fused together, that means that you can bend less and you've got less circulation in that area, okay?
That's the solution.
Doing that, will this go away?
The numbness? No, that's permanent.
So
Are you ready for this? She goes, will the numbness go away after the surgery? And then he goes, are you like this? It's permanent. That's how he said it. Go back and listen to it. Permanent. Okay, so let's emphasize that it's permanent, because guess what? It may not be. Maybe they could do the surgery and maybe it wouldn't be, but he has to say that because the chances of it being permanent are going to be permanent. You can't cut into the body without causing more scar tissue than anything else, okay? And that's the deal. I don't care. I don't care if it's a heart problem. Listen, let me tell you, we have people coming here that they have blockages in their heart in the 90 percentile. And between going on our diet, doing the non-surgical, body work, and by going on our cardiac bed, within 6 weeks we can restore and double the arteries, the arterioles in their heart, and actually clean the old ones out. And I can prove all this. So understand, it doesn't matter what organ you're talking about, but right now we're talking about the lower spine, and we're talking about surgery, okay?
And after I understood that,
Yeah.
but I was asking if I had the procedure done, will that,
Probably not.
okay?
The part
If she has these procedures, her feeling will probably never come back. But if she doesn't get the surgery, things are going to get worse. And he didn't lie about that. And actually, he didn't lie about anything, because you can't do better till you know better, and he knows the best that he knows, because that's the way he's been taught. And I'm not putting him down, because listen, I've had people in my family that have had surgery, and those surgeons have saved their life. But I already told you, 95% of all surgery never needed to get done. And that's the truth.
that'll go, that have a chance to get better, and that probably will get better, are the parts that are not permanent, which are the...
So the parts that will get better are the parts that aren't having any problems, but they're already better. So I'm not going to play anymore because I'm running out of time. I've got 7 minutes, and then these Braveheart women are going to do their show. But I want to say something. Okay, so people are saying that you look amazing for 80. Can you, if I say this, you tell them if I'm wrong. Do you look 15 years younger in the last just over a month that you've been here?
I certainly do.
Yeah, I know. Are you acting it?
Yeah.
What's different from the way that you want to live now than when just before you came? And I'm only saying this not a sales pitch for us.
Yeah.
This is a sales pitch for Dorothy.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm eating better. I'm doing a lot more. I'm walking. I'm swimming. I'm walking on the beach. I'm a lot more active. I'm eating much, much better food. I eat at the juice bar. I just feel terrific, and I don't have the old hunger pangs that I always had when I was on the normal American diet. I was famished all the time, and I just kept eating and eating.
Yeah, but how much more do you love you?
Yes, yes.
So you filled up the main part. You know, when you fill up your heart, that is the most important diet.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for hanging in here with me.
My pleasure, I assure you.
And thank you for hanging in with me. I just thought I'd come on and do this because I told a few people I was going to do this. And it's been, and then also I said I was going to do the Cell Sonic on Monday at 4 o'clock. I'm going to come on live and do the Cell Sonic. Can you make sure you book that, my friend? And we're going to do Cell Sonic, and I'm going to show you the Cell Sonic. It's the most powerful energy medicine device in the world. Have you had it yet?
No, I've ordered it. It hasn't come in yet.
No, Cell Sonic downstairs, the pulsar.
Oh, yes, I'm
Yeah.
having that. I'm having that on Friday.
Have you had it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Have you?
Yes, I have actually in the lab with you.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we just did a little sample of it.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what I've had.
Anyways, how's the non-surgical going? Did you get some non-surgical treatments?
Oh, I have had a very bad whiplash accident for about 35 years of very amended movement, and I've had a couple sessions on my upper neck and occiput and all that, and I have about 75% restored movement in
You
my
heard
neck
it.
and shoulders.
And you're how old?
I'm 80.
Yeah. So understand something. You're never too old to be young, and that's the truth, right?
Right, absolutely.
Listen, when she comes back, she's going to be working with us, and eventually you're going to see her picture up, and she'll probably be doing consulting. Okay, so listen to me. You're 80 young.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for joining me, all you Bravehearts, and just know that the Braveheart women will be coming up in about 15 minutes because I'm going to make them late. That's what I do. And just know this: do you think they should come and take the Whole Life Coach course?
The best thing.
Yeah, it's a 9-day
The best
course.
thing.
It starts April the 30th. We have 3 more before summer.
Because you can open up and restore yourself again. All the things that have happened through the years, they're all reversible.
We are in Ixtapa, Mexico, and we are called the World Healing and Training Center. And we will do the impossible. I am possible. We will do the impossible. You know, when they tell you that they can't do anymore, we're not even getting started. Okay? And that's the God's truth. Is that the God's truth?
That's the God's truth.
And the God's truth is 3, 2, 1. You got this, Braveheart.
Got this.
Bless you. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and we're just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: To be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul, and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart, and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because
How I found my brave heart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned, and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. and get excited because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half-truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you.